In the modern era, the term Big Five is used by many to refer to a bucket list of must-see African safari animals. This term, however, was coined long before the creation of modern safari outfits and dates back to the colonial era when big game hunters sought out the most challenging animals to hunt. With this in mind, in 2020, the new Big Five project was launched, with the aim of reimagining this concept with a focus on conservation, replacing rifles with cameras. 50,000 votes were cast from members of the public, and a new Big Five was chosen, but one question remains. Where in the world are the best locations to see and photograph these spectacular animals? The tiger is one of the most elusive predators on the planet and presents some of the most adventurous options for photographing animals in the wild. This species is found in 8 countries throughout South and Southeast Asia, in addition to a population found to the north between Russia and China. Its conservation status was set to endangered when it was last assessed in 2021, with no more than 4,000 mature individuals remaining in the wild, giving this species one of the lowest population estimates of all of the animals in the new Big Five. As one might expect, India is the most mentioned destination for tiger viewing in the world. This country is home to by far the largest population, around 75% of all tigers according to the BBC, and these incredible felines can be found in a wide range of the country's national parks. However, there are several locations outside of India where viewing is possible in the wild, starting with its neighbour to the north. According to a 2022 census, there are 355 tigers found in Nepal. 2 of its national parks offer the best viewing opportunities, one of which is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Chitwan National Park is located close to Nepal's southern border with India and was the first national park to be established in the country. The hottest season in this part of the world runs from May to September, and tigers can be viewed during this period cooling off in the rivers and lakes. Fall and spring are more pleasant in terms of temperature, and in the winter months of January and February, the locals trim the grass here, making wildlife viewing easier. Before heading to India, there is one more location worth exploring that offers one of the most unique viewing experiences in regards to habitat. Sundarbans is one of the world's largest mangrove forests, found on the south coast of Bangladesh and India. Tiger viewing is possible in both countries, and India's portion of Sundarbans is enclosed in Sundarban National Park. It should be noted that spotting a tiger in this part of the world is more difficult due to the habitat, but there is a large variety of other wildlife, and the months of September to March are the most pleasant. To the west, the number of national parks in India that are famous for tiger viewing is greater than any other nation, most of which are located in the centre and to the north of the country. Jim Corbett National Park has one of, if not the largest tiger population of all of India's national parks, and was the country's first national park, established in 1936 and named after the hunter and naturalist Jim Corbett, who died the year before. The same winter period from October to March is recommended for wildlife viewing, but the month of May is specifically mentioned as the best time to see tigers. It is also worth noting that Bhutan is also frequently mentioned, specifically Royal Manas National Park, which is found to the south of the country, and borders Manas National Park in India. However, this park was very difficult to find photos for, and those that are displayed are from the Indian side of the border. There are currently 6 described subspecies of tiger, just one of which we have covered so far in the preceding destinations. Of the remaining 5 subspecies, one offers the most unique viewing experience both in regards to location and its habitat. Russia's Primorye province is one of the best locations in the world to see Siberian tigers, specifically Zov-Tigra National Park, found 300 kilometers from the North Korean border. This national park was created in 2007 not only to protect the subspecies, but also to allow for sustainable, ecologically based tourism, although in an article published in Science Daily when the park was opened, it does mention that spotting an elusive Siberian tiger inside of the park is unlikely. The elephant is one of 2 animals included in both the old and the new Big Five, and is the first that we'll discuss with a conservation status of critically endangered, which is applied to one of the 3 species. The term elephant can refer either to the Asian elephant, which is found in 13 countries across South and Southeast Asia, the African savanna elephant, also known as the African bush elephant, which is found in over 20 countries in sub-Saharan Africa, and the African forest elephant, which is limited to 20 countries in West and Central Africa. The WWF estimates that there are 415,000 elephants remaining on the African continent, a figure which includes both the forest and savanna species, and fewer than 40,000 Asian elephants remaining in the wild. There are many locations famous for elephant viewing in Asia, but one appears in more guides than any other, and is the only location home to Bornean pygmy elephants. Kinabatangan Wildlife Sanctuary is located on Borneo in the Malaysian state of Sabah, and stretches for 270 square kilometers across the northern end of the island. River safaris are one of the most popular ways to see these creatures in the wild, and the forests here are also home to orangutans and proboscis monkeys. The second most popular location for viewing Asian elephants is the island nation of Sri Lanka. There are several national parks mentioned countless times, but the one that sticks out more than any other is Udevallaba National Park, located on the southern end of the island. The longest dry period here is between mid-May to the end of September, and there are thought to be around 600 to 700 elephants inside of this park alone, which is around 10% of Sri Lanka's total population. Other destinations include Thailand, where there are several reputable rescue centres, in addition to national parks where viewing is possible in the wild, and India, a country we'll return to towards the end of this video to view another member of the Big Five. On the African continent, both East and Southern Africa shine as the most popular destinations. Specifically, Chobe National Park, located a short distance from the Okavango Delta, where we'll visit lions later on. This destination is touted by many safari outfits as the national park with the highest concentration of elephants anywhere in the world, thanks to the bountiful waters of the Chobe River. In East Africa, Kenya is home to Amboseli National Park, which is found on the border of Kenya and Tanzania and sits underneath the towering peak of Mount Kilimanjaro. According to the park's website, Amboseli is home to a population of 1,600 elephants, which is the longest studied elephant population in the world, and includes the individuals with the longest tusks. Finally, South Africa also makes an appearance for both elephants and lions, boasting Edo Elephant National Park, which is located on the south coast between Cape Town and Durban. This national park was founded in 1931 to protect the elephants in the area, and has grown to be one of the most popular locations not only for elephant viewing, but as a destination for viewing the traditional Big Five. Due to their need for large quantities of water, elephants are attracted to the watering holes during the dry season, which runs from June to September, but they can also be viewed at other times of year. Although forest elephants are lesser known than their cousins on the savannah, there is one location I was able to find with a fantastic set of photos, which represents one of the most adventurous destinations on this list. Zanga Sanga Special Reserve is located in the southwest of the Central African Republic and is part of the Sanga Trinational, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that encompasses 3 national parks on the border of the Central African Republic, the Republic of Congo, and Cameroon. Although travel to this area is likely off the cards for many of us, it is worth noting that not only is Zanga Sanga home to the African forest elephant, but it also plays host to the next animal on our list. The gorilla is the first and only animal we'll discuss where all species are listed as critically endangered. There are 2 species of gorilla, further broken down into 4 subspecies, all of which are found in Central Africa. The eastern gorilla is found in just 3 countries, with the majority of its range found in the Democratic Republic of Congo. It is the species that is at the greatest risk, with 2,600 mature individuals remaining when it was last assessed in 2018. The western gorilla has a larger range, found between 7 countries on the western side of the continent. In 2018, a study published in Science Advances used density estimates to produce a revised population of 361,900 Western gorillas. However, an estimated yearly decline of 2.7% upheld their status as critically endangered. Despite this enormous gap in population size, the most popular locations for gorilla viewing are found to the east. Volcanoes National Park is located in northern Rwanda and is home to 10 family groups of gorillas, the largest of which is made up of 40 individuals, including 3 silverbacks. Gorilla viewing is possible year-round, but the rainy season runs from March to May and makes trekking more difficult, and the chance of seeing both gorillas and chimpanzees lower, according to the park's website. The second most popular location is found in the same general vicinity, this time in the far southwest of Uganda. Bwindi Impenetrable Forest National Park is home to one of the largest numbers of mountain gorillas, in addition to 120 other mammal species and 350 bird species. The park's website mentions the months directly after the rainy season as the best time to view gorillas here in June, July, August and September. The most adventurous option is located in a similar area and sits on the other side of Lake Edward in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Virunga National Park is home to around 350 mountain gorillas and was designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1979. In addition to gorilla viewing, the hiking in this region is second to none, and the park is home to an active stratovolcano that features the world's largest lava lake. All 3 of the previously mentioned locations are home to mountain gorillas, one of the 2 subspecies of eastern gorilla. In addition to its mountain gorillas, the Democratic Republic of Congo is the only country in the world to host the eastern lowland gorilla, which can be observed in Kahuzi-Biega National Park, found on the southern end of Lake Kivu near the border with Rwanda. The eastern lowland gorilla is the largest of the 4 gorilla subspecies, and according to the WWF, there are less than 4,000 remaining in the wild. On the western side of the Congo Basin sit a handful of countries with large gorilla populations, but one national park is mentioned time and time again as the best place to see the western gorilla. Odzala-Kokua National Park is found in the north of the Republic of Congo and is home to an estimated 25,000 gorillas, according to the park's website. Not only is the park home to some of the most impressive numbers in all of Africa, but is also home to the African forest elephant and is one of the best places to see the bongo. The lion is the second animal to be included in both the old and the new Big Five, and is also one of only 2 species on the new list with a conservation status of vulnerable, as opposed to endangered or critically endangered. The most recent population estimate by the IUCN was 23,000 mature individuals when it was last assessed in February of 2023, which showed an 8% decline from the previous 2018 assessment. Although this species is found in at least 24 countries across sub-Saharan Africa, in addition to a small population in India, based on the previously mentioned assessments, there are 2 areas home to the vast majority of lions: Southern Africa, with 47.5% of the total population, and East Africa, with 46.5%. There are just a handful of locations that appear in almost every guide to seeing lions in the wild, the most popular being the Masai Mara Serengeti ecosystem, split between Kenya and Tanzania. The best time to see lions in the Masai Mara coincides with the arrival of the wildebeest in August, and runs through September before their departure to the Serengeti in October. South of the border, many sources cite calving season as the best time of year to see lions in Tanzania, which takes place between January and February in the south of the Serengeti, before the migratory herds begin to make their way north. Other popular lion destinations in East Africa, including Ngorongoro Crater, also in Tanzania, and Queen Elizabeth National Park in Uganda, which sits on the other side of Lake Victoria and is famous for its tree-climbing lions. In southern Africa, there are also a handful of locations mentioned far more than any other, the most popular of which is found in the north of Botswana. The Okavango Delta is one of the world's most incredible wetland ecosystems, and thanks to an abundance of prey animals, is one of the best places in the world to see lions. Dry season runs from May to October. It is a popular time of year due to the favourable weather conditions and is touted by the safari outfits specifically as the best time of year to see mammals such as lions. The second most popular destination in southern Africa is South Africa's Kruger National Park. This famous destination is home to 37 prey species, including giraffe, buffalo and zebra, making it a haven for the roughly 2,000 lions found within the park. Dry season runs from May to October in this part of Africa, and again leaves visitors with a choice between good weather and crowds, or higher levels of rainfall but a quieter viewing experience. It would be a shame to cover lions without exploring the Asian population, and there is in fact only one location where it is possible to see these animals outside of Africa. The dry, deciduous forests of Gir National Park are best viewed during the winter months according to the park's website, when both temperature and rainfall are lower than in the hot and wet summer months. The polar bear is unfortunately the last animal on our list, but is one of the most unique. It is the second animal in the new Big Five with a conservation status of vulnerable, with the most recent population estimates suggesting there are between 22 to 31,000 individuals remaining. This species exhibits a circumpolar distribution and is found in just 5 countries. The global population of polar bears is split into 19 subpopulations, the vast majority of which are found within Canada's borders. In a country with the majority of the world's polar bear population, there is one location that is more famous than any other, and is dubbed by many as the polar bear capital of the world. The town of Churchill is located in far northern Manitoba on the shores of Hudson Bay, and between the months of October and November, it is arguably the best place in the world to see polar bears. During the summer months of July and August, the ice on Hudson Bay has melted completely, and the polar bears in this region must spend the following months on land, surviving on their fat stores and waiting for the cold Canadian winter. It is the western coast of Hudson Bay, where Churchill is located, that freezes first, and it is the months of October and November when the largest numbers of polar bears congregate along the shoreline, waiting for the bay to freeze over, at which point they can return to the ice to hunt for seals. Outside of Canada, there is one other location that is lauded not only as a polar bear hotspot, but as one of the most spectacular wildlife destinations on Earth. The Svalbard archipelago is located over 650 kilometers north of the Norwegian mainland and experiences 3 distinct seasons, all of which you can learn about in this video, exploring the wildlife and ecology of Norway. Thank you so much for watching.